How to do ballet. You've heard that ballet is basically all about lines, physical shapes created by the dancers. But ballet technique is also built upon geometrical lines. These lines determine the rules we have to follow with every movement. If you've ever asked yourself, how do ballerinas know what to do or where to put their body? How do I know if I'm being correct? Then this video is for you. Hopefully, if you're an aspiring dancer, you've learned what en croix means, the shape of the cross, and it tells us which directions our legs go, but it actually is always with us, and it's not just on the floor. It actually goes through our body as well. In anatomy, they call these planes, and they're like invisible walls that go through our body. The cross is made up of the frontal, also called coronal plane, and sagittal plane. The sagittal plane sticks out from between your eyes and down your belly button, and this is the line that our leg follows to go front to back. The frontal or coronal plane sticks out from the side of your body, and this is our alisecone line. When we're standing in first position, these lines intersect between our heels, but when we're in fifth position, it shifts to the center of our foot or right beneath our arch. We try to keep our whole body lined up with this center point. And because I'm not an animator or a graphic artist, I'm using masking tape as a visual aid. This line remains no matter what the body is doing, and it is our guideline of where our legs and arms are allowed to go. We never want to overcross this center line. The same is true when your leg is going to the back. You want your leg to go behind the center line of your body. You could imagine your spine. You don't want it to stray beyond that line that's on the cross. The arms are also typically not allowed to cross the sagittal plane. Your arms should never overcross the center of your body. There are some rare exceptions for choreography, but for the most part, overcrossing your arm past the center of your body is considered incorrect. Of course, it's very difficult to get the leg to go exactly to the side following that line of the cross, but we try to get it as close as possible. That same line that guides our leg to the side is also in our torso, and it also helps us guide our arms. I imagine this as a wall that comes out from my shoulder blades, and it touches the backs of my arms. You can't bring your arms behind the body. The elbows will always be slightly forward. While it's not a plane, this is a bonus imaginary line that helps you remember how far forward to keep your forearms and your fingers. They should always be within your peripheral vision. Even as the arms go up, your hands are right above your eyes or your eyebrows. They don't go up behind your head where you can't see them. So you can also think of your fingertips remaining along the same plane when you go from second to third. Of course, we have the leg line. It starts up in the hip. It goes down through the femur, through the knee, through the shin bone, and through the center of the ankle and the foot. If you're working correctly, all the joints are lined up, so your leg line should never be wobbly or broken. While the transverse plane was not part of the cross, it helps us maintain our hip alignment. If we keep this line straight, it preserves our spine and our torso. We tilt the transverse line when we tuck or arch our back too much, and then we lose that beautiful vertical alignment. Of course, there are some exceptions as demands increase, but for the most part, we try to stay pure as possible by following these lines and planes. And this might be the most difficult of all. The standing leg has to remain along that coronal plane. This comes from extreme rotation and extreme stability. This is probably one of the hardest parts of doing ballet, because when you let this go, your hips will tilt forwards or backwards, the knee will bend and twist, and then you lose that straight line. No matter what else is happening, that standing leg has to stay firm and strong and straight. Even as you plie, the knee has to track over the toe over that coronal plane. Otherwise, look, we're a crooked mess and we lost our cross. In my opinion, the standing leg is more telling than the leg that's in the air. You can see who truly understands ballet technique when you watch the alignment of their standing leg. When Einstein said dancers are the athletes of God, I don't think he realized how appropriate that is, because I'm not religious, but it seems like every day we are killing ourselves on this cross. We're basically Jesus.